So as we're getting started, I just would like to say welcome to day 3. I think we're like just about hitting the halfway point of Ignite. Noon will be that point. I hope you're all having a wonderful time and finding benefit to the learnings you wanted to get by coming to Ignite. There's been some fantastic announcements, a lot of stuff around Azure, Azure Arc. There's been the stuff with IoT and quantum, and a whole bunch of stuff in the Microsoft 365 suite with Excel. I mean, I don't know if anybody was able to make it to the modern workplace tech keynote. There were some really cool things that we popped up there. So just hope you're enjoying that and seeing the great excitements and all the things we bring into the market to help your companies be more productive and find the benefits of Microsoft 365 and Azure. My name is Thomas Wicker. I'm part of the FastTrack program. I'm one of the principal PMs in the program. I've been at Microsoft since 2007, and outside of excluding the first 3 months, I've actually been helping customers move to whatever version of Microsoft Cloud we've had at that point. Some of that started with just BPOS-D. I don't know if anybody knows that era, BPOS-S, and then Microsoft 365. But always, I've been involved with trying to help customers transform their businesses by making the shift. I want to just quickly discuss about a little bit this session and what we're trying to do here. We've had a lot of great sessions from the program feature owners of the different features that Microsoft is bringing to the plate here, and really focused on those sessions. And what we wanted to do in today's session was kind of bring that journey together through a customer that has done a lot of different parts of those features and brought them all together to have their experience on Microsoft 365. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jeff from Lowe's, and who will be talking with us today. And I'm going to tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in your company, what you guys have been your journey so far.
Yeah, certainly. So I'm an SCCM engineer at Lowe's. I'm responsible for corporate and supply chain workstations. It amounts to about 25,000 seats. Before that, I was at another company called Adient, responsible for about 50,000 desktops and laptops across a global company. So I've been doing this a little while.
Okay, cool. As Jeff, Jeff joined just has not been too long with Lowe's, but our journey with Lowe's started quite a bit further back, and I'm going to share a little bit of that history because it's really kind of what laid the groundwork of the relationship between Microsoft's FastTrack and Lowe's. We actually started back in 2016, end of 2016, with the original rollout of Identity, but we really started this, how do we bring the story together for Lowe's, and how do we support Lowe's to have a realization of the journey they're trying to achieve, it really establishing a connected experience. After the Identity work was done, we actually evolved into the mailbox migrations, and that was a really aggressive approach that Lowe's wanted to take, and this was really where we started building this relationship of let's get a clean plan together and really bring that forward and really make the move quickly to really have the end users ride the journey of, hey, we're making changes, and they see it immediately. This is, you'll see as we go through the further discussion for Lowe's journey, how that's kind of kept replicating itself. And, just little stats here, when we did the migration overall, it was quick. It was a 6-month project. 4 of those months, we were over 40,000 users a month, with the high point month of March 2017, which you can see that's over 80,000 users were moved in that month. So, Lowe's really started this practice with FastTrack of quick evolution, quick change, really driving end user experience. That FastTrack was supportive in that process. But, part of this, that Microsoft and FastTrack pushing hard and help going where the customer wants to go, we do push our limits, and we find those limits in the products. And that's part of the journey that Microsoft and why FastTrack exists, is to actually help customers and their journey, but also gain us for ourselves as a company, make our solutions better. There are many solutions that are part of the product suites that now come from feedback from customers that we drove through FastTrack to the product teams. And so, that it's just not just about helping the customer, but it's getting that feedback. And I know, Jeff, you did connect with a couple of your colleagues that were in the early part with Microsoft and FastTrack, and I think there was some early experiences of us working together, kind of working through the give and take between the two teams.
Yeah, certainly. So FastTrack was able to bring these PowerShell scripts that had worked at other companies, right? And they're great, but one of our engineers took a look at them and said, hey, we could speed this up. And they were able to do that with great success here. And then obviously FastTrack takes that and applies that to other FastTrack customers. So it's a really cool sort of give and take relationship.
Yeah. So FastTrack has never really had this image of we know it all. There's a lot of experiences out there. There's different scenarios we run into with every customer. They'll have information, but what we try to bring is what's the best experiences across our customers. And there's a give and take, and there's a tweaking that we constantly do, and there's always evolving. So when we started with Lowe's in 2016, FastTrack, really we were just focusing on what we called at that point Office 365. And that was really Exchange and SharePoint at that point. And so this ever evolution of what we're doing is we're evolving also where our customers want to go. And so that's that focus of bringing that on. Now, when we started, and we'll get into the discussion with the Win 10 and OPP, that really even wasn't our focus. And so as we've evolved with our customers to help them achieve what they want to achieve. And it's an example of these constant learnings that we've had. One of the examples, another one that we did with Lowe's was the SharePoint migration assessment tool. It was called SMAT. It's a pretty awesome name. That was not the first version of the name, but they settled on that. But the focus of that was when we were developing it, we actually went to Lowe's. Lowe's said, hey, we need to move some SharePoint files and some file share stuff. Can we use this tool? And we did work interactively with them, provided them the tool. They ran it. They gave us feedback on descriptions of the errors, here what came out of the assessment. That drove back into the product, and that we drove that back into the product team. Of course, the product team loves this feedback because we're also, FastTrack is addressing so many customers. We're able to get this broad reach of customer feedback. It's not just one customer and one customer here. It's thousands of customers that we're addressing. So you get a really good fulfilled statement of what is the real problem situation. We love it, but it's a reciprocal relationship. And how has that landed with you and your peers at Lowe's? I mean, I know that adding the scripts was nice, but how did that, how does that landed?
Personally, I love it. One of the best things your FastTrack, engineer can say is, we did this at this other company, another customer of mine, and it worked well. Or the reciprocal, the reverse of that. We did this and it didn't work well. It takes a lot of the winging it and guesswork out of these deployments.
Yeah, I think the winging thing is, I think all of us in IT have had that moment where we're like, well, we got to go, and you feel like you're winging it. So I'm glad that Lowe's has felt that support of FastTrack and even that. So that's we've explained the initial engagement. It's trying to get kind of the journey of how we've been going through with Lowe's, and now we're going to dive into a little bit more of your space, what we've done happening recently. When you joined, what struck you when you started at Lowe's?
Yeah, so when I first joined Lowe's, I opened up the SCCM console because that's what I do, and I'm poking around, and I see it doesn't look like we're really updating Office.
I don't think that's an uncommon thing.
That's kind of weird. How many versions do we have? Oh, okay, this is going to be a problem. I realized that we were on the wrong channel of Office. We didn't have a good strategy around this sort of software as a service. So that's what immediately struck me.
So was then able FastTrack to help give some sort of plan for how you could tackle that when you raised it with the FastTrack team?
Yeah, certainly. So we realized we had a big problem, and that once you get that far behind, it's definitely hard to catch up, right? So you don't know what's going to work with the newest versions of Office 365. And then, on top of that, we also had a bunch of Windows 7 clients. So that was going to be a problem going forward. But they were able to help us through desktop analytics figure out what works and what doesn't work. We actually got in on an early preview of desktop analytics before anybody got to see it. So that was really, really a huge benefit to us and that we got from FastTrack.
So it's not only they just didn't just give you a plan of how to handle, but also give you some products. And I think we actually have a slide here. It kind of talks about the before and after. I don't know if you want to dive into it.
Yeah, so the slide is kind of misleading. So you can see that the top portion is a version of Office 365, and I know I don't expect anybody in here to know what version that is or memorize it, but it's an old version, I can tell you that. when I took this screenshot, I was about a year and a half old or something like that. And then you can see in the second biggest portion there, a much newer version of Office 365. And then all those tiny little slivers represent about 90 other versions of Office 365 that we had. So needless to say, it was a big problem for us.
So I think you literally had 91 different versions.
91 different versions of Office because we deployed the monthly channel accidentally.
And it wasn't sub-variations, it was like completely different versions.
Completely different, months worth of differences and changes and bug fixes, and yeah, it was a mess.
It obviously makes it confusing for the end users, different experiences.
Yeah. Confusing for the end users, difficult to support. It was certainly a mess.
Okay, and then this is the next slide here. This is now the project complete. If you want to cover that a little bit, because I think we're a lot less versions, aren't we?
Yeah, we're certainly a lot less versions now, and if you can tell that we have the version numbers are much closer, so it's much easier to support. These are like sub versions of differences here. So
now that the project is complete, did you achieve your original goals that you wanted?
Yeah, certainly. So the original goal of the project was obviously to get up to date and then on top of that, stay up to date. So we use SCCM and automatic deployment rules to really, keep this software as a service model thing going.
That's great. And SCCM, as for those that don't know, is the System Center Configuration Manager. And so you've had this successful migration, the user adoption, and getting them to embrace the new policies. That's always a challenge for people. I think as IT people, we always want the change to no impact. Let's not impact the end user, not impact the end user. But if they don't realize that change has happened, they're actually not going to realize the benefit of the new, what they've been upgraded to. And so there's that fine line of how you do that. And can you tell us about the transformation at Lowe's through this? What's been that experience with that?
Yeah, certainly. So, you're always going to have users that are resistant to change. But one of the things FastTrack helped us do is put those end user communications together. They gave us, hey, here's what's changing in the new Office, here's how that's going to benefit your end users. And then we were able to relay that information to our users and say, yeah, you know what, Office is going to be down for an hour or so, but here's all the cool features you're getting. You're getting dictate and read aloud in Outlook, you're getting app mentions, you're getting, we're deploying Teams, and here's all the cool things Teams can do for you. So that was certainly helpful.
More kind of a transition to a software as a service versus software as a standalone.
Yeah, certainly. So, before we basically, you would deploy Office, 2007, and you wouldn't touch it for as long as possible until, you kind of had to. And now we've really tried to embrace software as a service and, keep them up to date. And
cool. And that, that kind of tees up our next discussion because, things did go relatively smooth with that, and you had that good transition. Let's talk about the practices and lessons learned. Were there any surprises along the way? Like when you went into the deployment, did you have any preconceived notions of how it would go, and then that didn't occur as expected, and then then something else did occur that you did totally caught you off guard?
Yeah. So when I first started, I didn't know what FastTrack was. So I kind of assumed that they would come on site and just do it all for you. That's not really what FastTrack is about. Really, it turned into, hey, we're going to set up some Skype sessions, we're going to set up some Teams sessions, and help guide you through this. So, whenever we had a question, I could ask. Whenever we, ran into an issue, we originally were going to try to use the Office Compatibility Toolkit, and found out that didn't scale. You could run it on a few computers and get data about what works and what doesn't work, but it really wasn't meant to run on 20,000 computers. So they not only took that feedback and made the readiness toolkit better, but they also pointed us towards desktop analytics and said, here, this is what you really need, and this is how you're going to do this. So.
Mm-hmm. And so part of that change, though, sometimes is there's a notion that it's going to wreak havoc. Yeah,
we were certainly concerned because, going from such an old version to such a new version, we said, oh man, this is going to be really bad. Our add-ins aren't going to work, our macros aren't going to work. This isn't this isn't going to be good. But through desktop analytics, they were really able to show us that, hey, yeah, it's going to be fine because, the macros do work, the add-ins do work. There's, 100,000 other people that run this add-in and they don't have any issues.
And that's kind of like this. What this guy, this is actually pulled from some of your guys' information.
Yeah, so I pulled this from our SCCM console, and our desktop analytics console, and it shows us, what would have a problem, what wouldn't have a problem, and that's super, super helpful information.
Yeah, and you mentioned the part, and well, we can cover that later, but the FastTrack is remote. It was a little bit, there was that little bit of resistance to it, but when we were chatting right before this, like you mentioned, there was also, it helped you guys learn more rather than just having somebody come and just take it over.
Yeah, if you have a third party come in and just do it for you, the engineers don't gain those skills and insight that they need for later, right? So that in hindsight, I definitely liked that model.
Yeah, and we do recognize there are customers that can't necessarily do it. They don't have the resourcing to drive these things, and so we do have a great partner ecosystem that helps in accompaniment with FastTrack, to cover those gaps. But you mentioned desktop analytics, here, and can you dive deeper into the tool and a little bit more about it, so that those
sure.
that don't know in the audience really how it was able to help you guys?
So desktop analytics uploads telemetry data to Azure, and then Microsoft analyzes it against the information that they have to tell you what will and won't work on newer versions of not only Office but Windows 10. And that really helps. It really helps us in particular accelerate the deployment. Once you know what is and isn't going to work, you can run faster. Before this, you would deploy to maybe 2% of your population or 1% of your population, and then see what breaks, and then do a few more and see if anything breaks. So desktop analytics helps you speed that up tremendously, because if you already know that 90% of your users are going to be fine, well, you can just go ahead and deploy to 90% then. And then we used desktop app assurance to fix the stuff that wasn't working, right?
Yeah. Do you want to cover a little bit more about desktop app assurance?
Yeah, certainly. So it's basically a team of people at Microsoft, and their main job is to make old stuff work with new stuff. So whether that be your macros, add-ins, in our case even Win32 line of business apps, they're there to help you make those old things work with all the new stuff. So,
but I think there's also some assurance though that came literally in the name desktop app assurance.
Yeah, right.
Is that they run this, they're helping a lot of customers with this, that it gives you kind of a catalog of things that, okay, this has worked, it didn't impact other customers, therefore it's not going to impact us up. So it's not like you have to run every case by it, you can also just look at their catalog.
Yeah, so that was definitely helpful. They have a massive database of applications that didn't work and how they made them work. So that was definitely reassuring. And then, like I said, in desktop analytics, you can see, hey, this add-in is highly adopted. Means there's thousands of other people that run it, or even hundreds of thousands of other people that run this application with 1909 in it, or in our case, drivers, right? That's a big thing. So when we're upgrading Windows 10 PCs, it'll tell you, there are a million other Windows 10 PCs that run this driver, and none of them blue screen, right?
Oh,
that's very useful information to have.
Yeah, and now, you were working with FastTrack through this whole process. You mentioned both these applications that were a team with Desktop App Assure, but also Desktop Analytics. How did FastTrack play into that role in helping you with those tools?
Right, so it was really nice because they're a liaison between those Microsoft teams, right? So I can just hit FastTrack and say, hey, I'm having an issue with this, and they know who to go contact. They know, the product managers. They know the people who write the code. So if you're having issues, they can help you out basically. Yeah. And if they can't, they know the people who can. So
okay. It's good to hear that the deployment went smoothly. Is there anything that you would do differently than if you could do it again?
I would have just done it sooner.
So it's kind of along that lines of let's get moved. You realize that maybe some of the hesitation, having FastTrack as kind of the backstop and the applications Microsoft has provided, really would have been able to help that move transition quicker.
Yeah, certainly. My motto is run fast and break things. So.
So, how did this land with your end users? I mean, you did say, and in the end, you still did move fairly quickly. How did this land with your end users? What kind of feedback are you getting from some of them, or is there anything that maybe knowing that now you would change your direction?
Yeah, there's always going to be people that don't want to do it and that hate change. We all have users that complain about everything. But that was one thing that I will say FastTrack was really helpful with, because they helped us really sell it to the end user, right? This is beneficial to you because you get X, Y, and Z. So
yeah, that's great. I sometimes refer to them as the server huggers. They don't want MySpace. They don't want the mail to move because that's their server. But it's the evolution that they have to take. Those that resist change. If you mentioned FastTrack help with communications and slides and so forth, is there any sort of was there any other things that Microsoft did to bring in to help with this? Was there any demos or anything?
Yeah, so we actually, and I don't think it was specifically FastTrack, but we brought in Microsoft representatives and set them up in a conference room, right? So they could demo all these new things and features with all of our employees, and they gave out shirts and stickers and stuff, which always helps. And we also had some Azure experts on site and Power Apps experts on site. So it was really kind of created like a grassroots sort of movement to say, here's what Lowe's is trying to get towards, and here's what we're trying to do. I think that really helped.
No, that's fantastic. That's one of the things we try to do with FastTrack is often the business makes the decision, and now you got to get the end users to come along. So about that grassroots motion, and that's also where FastTrack is. Always is trying to be connecting with the other parts of Microsoft, visiting with the customer, working with the customer directly, because we want a one Microsoft motion with you as a customer, and not a disparate experience. I'm not saying it can never happen, but that is the goal of what we're trying to do with FastTrack. Would it be anything from that specific deployment that you would just target with that, like anything that you would say, like 2 points, maybe talking points you'd say?
Yeah, so like best practices. I would say that use the data analytics, and then obviously trust the data analytics.
Cool.
We had we upgraded 25,000 Office 365 users to the latest version, and then we also upgraded about 10,000 users from Windows 7 to Windows 10. And I can't think of a single instance where the desktop analytics was incorrect or led us astray. And then obviously, don't do what we did and upgrade to Office 365 without also upgrading the back-end infrastructure, in this case, SCCM. So you got to get ready to support that stuff before you pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm. And you took on a hurdle that a lot of companies really are challenged with, of getting everything on the same, both Windows and Office. On the same platform. That's a big, we're sounding up here on the stage, it sounds like this was just a simple thing, but it sounds like it actually was not as big of a hurdle as that you all thought it was going to be.
No, it certainly wasn't. And like I said, the tools made it a lot easier.
Great. Part of these things is when IT makes these, or finance or the business makes these decisions, there's a look for tangible results.
Right.
Like how did this actually save X dollars or Y dollars? Was there anything that came out of this for Lowe's?
Yeah, so certainly, upgrading 10,000 Windows 7 PCs, we avoid the cost of extended support. So certainly there's tangible dollars there. And then, intangible results is, support is much easier. Because we're all on the same Office version, it's much easier to keep it up to date. It's much easier for, our help desk to help people with their problems, because the help desk person was on a really old version, and then somebody would call in a new version and say I'm having a problem, and it was hard for them to make that work. And then also, just decrease WAN utilization and disk utilization, because we don't have to push so many different updates, right? Mm-hmm. So because everybody's on the same version, it makes it much cheaper and easier to keep it that way.
Well, that's some real actual tangible pieces. You can put numbers to that.
Yeah, certainly.
So that's a real win. Is there anything that did come out of maybe that, that was maybe the targets of some of this change, like, hey, we're going to save in WAN, we're going to save in support. Is there anything that was maybe came out of it that was unintended?
Yeah, so we learned that we didn't really have a good handle on the rings, right? Microsoft just talked about them a lot. So who's a good candidate for Insider, so to get the latest updates? Who's a good candidate to be on, some sort of accelerated program for either Office or Windows 10? And then, with our move to the cloud, and now people can access their documents anywhere, we didn't really have a good handle on information protection. So we're definitely looking at those initiatives coming up.
Okay, well, and that kind of like, now that Windows 10 is deployed and Office 365 is deployed, what's next for Lowe's? You're kind of leading into that a little bit. You kind of pop that up a little bit.
Yeah.
There.
So next, obviously AIP. We've just deployed Windows Defender ATP on every corporate and supply chain PC. And then mostly we're looking at autopilot and how we can utilize it to speed up deployments in the field, especially.
Now, in that, you've now mentioned significant changes in what you're trying to deliver.
Yeah.
How's FastTrack played in that? I mean, we don't have like individuals that are just the expert in everything.
Yeah, so that's been great. We talked, we told them, hey, now that we've kind of got this show on the road, now we want to do autopilot. And they're like, oh yeah, we got people that'll help you with that. So we just kind of basically repurposed the call into an autopilot discussion, and they brought in people that were experts in that. So it's been really helpful. And
is there also a benefit? FastTrack is also able to get customers into private previews.
Yeah, yeah.
And how's that played out for you all? I think we put you into the ATP private preview.
We went into the autopilot private preview. So what was announced yesterday with VPN domain join. We've been using that. We've been using that for a little bit now to try to eliminate the need for a line of sight domain controller. That's a problem for a lot of organizations. And then we also got in on desktop analytics as a private preview. So we were able to really feel it out, tell them what we liked, what we didn't like, and then kind of shape the product. And it really helps you feel more connected to Microsoft products, because you're able to give that feedback and really talk to the engineers. So
now, and I think you also mentioned something with desktop analytics. There's some stuff that you all have been looking around with AI.
Yeah, so the decisions and the AI is really nice, because it'll tell you, exactly what works, what doesn't work, and it can help drive those business decisions for you. So in the case of Windows 10, we told it we want to upgrade to 1809. We want everybody on 1809. And then it'll tell you, okay, well, here's the PCs that you need to pilot with. And those PCs are the most unique, right? They have, maybe they're and then also the groups. So it intelligently groups these things together. So it might say, hey, this is a Surface 3 device, and it has these 3 apps that is available on 8,000 PCs. Okay, well, if that one upgrades fine, then those 3 apps will be fine. And then, so it makes those decisions intelligently for you. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to come up with your own pilots, right? It does all that for you, and that's been extremely helpful.
So is there anything else that you guys are maybe with the autopilot, the preview of autopilot is giving you some insights, and maybe something else you guys want to try?
Yeah, so we're going to be trying the sort of direct to user shipment method. So that should be really interesting. Before we had basically, if an end user calls in and says, my screen's broken, or my laptop needs to be reimaged, we'd have to ship it to the depot, fix it, ship it back. The user's down for 3 days. And in this particular use case, that means they're not selling things, right? They can't sell somebody a new roof if their laptop's broken. That's not. So we're really looking at autopilot to help that use case.
It almost seems like with autopilot, it would just been too big of a logistical problem to even try this kind of.
Yeah. Without. It would have been definitely a hurdle, but because we're in on these private previews and we have the help of FastTrack, it's definitely seems more attainable.
Does it also make it feel more like even Lowe's people want to see, hey, you're a DIY, build your home, but you feel you all are pushing the envelope more like kind of a tech company, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, we're really
startup.
trying to drive those sort of initiatives, right? We're trying to. Some of our executives have said, we want to do BYOD, we want to do device choice, we want to be, just like Microsoft does it, right? So you can just go buy your own equipment, and it'll work, right? So with Autopilot, that initiative is actually possible. It's certainly not possible without it. So, I can't support 400 different laptop models in an SCCM task sequence. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and just the groundwork you've laid now gives even the leadership that option to even think that way, because you have the control and the
right.
you're putting your straight self out at risk, right?
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything from your journey, like this journey, and maybe from reflectively over the time, things that you've thought about, like as we've worked through this kind of prepping for this time, like that you would just want to surface for the audience from your experience?
Yeah. So I think with FastTrack, the biggest thing for us was experience. You bring somebody to the table that has done this before in a number of other companies. So that really, really helps reassure us and makes us more comfortable. If they can tell you exactly how to do it and what worked and what didn't work, it's definitely speeds up that process, and that's why they call it FastTrack.
Okay. And I think we talked about like 3 things that really you wanted the audience to take home with them from this.
Yeah, so obviously, Office 365 and Windows 10 are better together, right? So some people mentioned before they were Google Docs customers, but they're still using Windows 10. But with all the new features in Windows 10, it really makes that cohesive. Mm-hmm. And then leverage the data that Microsoft has available to you. It's invaluable. And then for larger customers, you should be using SCCM and or Endpoint Manager now.
Because we decided to change the name right here at Ignite. But no, that's great. Part of this too is also wanted to open up the time for some mic time for individuals. If you guys have questions for either me about FastTrack or for Jeff regarding Lowe's experience, or maybe how they came over some of the hurdles that you may be seeing in your own business. So I'd like to open up to the mic. And if you do have a question, if you could just step up to the mic and ask the question so we can get it on the recording.
This close. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Was this across the board from a corporate perspective as well as stores and Canada location?
So
let me quickly repeat so it gets it on the recording. Her question, the question was this a corporate push across all of Lowe's, including the Canada locations across the board?
Yeah. So the stores, as you could imagine, are less risk tolerant because that's how we make money. So we did corporate first, and we kind of always do corporate first. And so we did all of that work, and then we're hoping that the stores will follow suit, right? So we'll show them how we did it, and then they can kind of follow suit.
Great.
Yes, we're in the infancy stage of going to Office 365. Our organization is not as large as yours. We have about 12,000 users. My 2 questions are, one, did you do any kind of communication to the users to prepare them for this migration? And 2, what were some of the pain points that you came across with doing the migration?
Yeah, so we did a lot of end user communication. We didn't do like CBTs or anything like that because we were already on Office 365. It was just super old. And we also did do some on-prem clients as well, as much as we could. So there wasn't a ton of user training needed, but we certainly did send out, hey, here's this new button in Outlook, and here's what it does. And then another case, we were also deploying a Outlook add-in that does email phishing reports. So we also told them, hey, here's a new button in Outlook, here's what it does, please use it. And then obviously on pain points, making sure that macros work, add-ins work. Before we got into desktop analytics, that was a really big pain point for us because I'm an SCCM guy. I don't know how to do VBA code, right? So if somebody emails me and says, "Hey, this workbook used to work and now it doesn't," I really couldn't help them, and that's why with Desktop Assurance it felt a lot better because they just fixed some of that stuff for us, right? We sent them an Excel workbook and they said, "Here's how you fix it."
I'd say also on that for you, from a FastTrack perspective, we will also, and Microsoft will provide templated kind of, hey, this is what other customers have used as the model to communicate to the end users, catering it to your scenario to really address that comms. And you are very right in calling out that comms is a real piece that really helps the end users realize the motion is changing. And I was alluding to a little bit earlier was the helping the users understand how the change is a benefit to them. It's not a like-for-like change. We're not just going from Office 2007 or whatever version you're on to Office ProPlus. There is benefits that they should see and expect out of the features with that transition. You want to get them excited about that. That gives them more to do. I'm going to take the gentleman over here.
Couple questions. One was kind of how big was your team that worked on that project, and then how did you handle moving the PST files?
So you may be able to answer the PST files.
Yeah, I can cover the PST. So you're talking about the individual's PST stored on their desktop? Yeah. Lowe's actually didn't really have that as a scenario. They didn't have a lot of PSTs because they had restrictions on the mailboxes going in. Commonly what we do with most of our customers is there is a service that we have where customers can actually upload into the archive service, the PSTs. Getting those off the desktops is a challenge. I'm not going to lie. But there are things also, known folder move that we have now with SharePoint, where you can start targeting folders on customers' desktops that some customers have used to move the data before they do the upgrades, because you don't want to lose them off the Windows 10 device. I think that's, or the Windows device that they're currently on. I think that's what you're also concerned about, right? So it kind of all starts marrying together. And this is part of the reason, where FastTrack is really looking to have that try to help you look at all the facets that could get you caught. If you didn't think, some people go, "Oh, I just want to move my mailboxes. Oh, I just want to go do, or I'm just going to do a Windows 10 upgrade." Okay, but that could impact other pieces. Here's the things that you should consider. What was the size of your team, though, that you even on this Windows, on the Windows 10?
We have about 3 engineers, and then obviously a full help desk staff, and then obviously the FastTrack.
Yeah.
They were like 3 or 4 people helping us. So.
Yeah, there's usually from FastTrack. There's usually 2 core people, what we call a FastTrack manager and a FastTrack engineer, and they pull in other resources. As you mentioned, when we come to an area, the engineers maybe, hey, this is not my expertise. I can tell you the general discussion, but if you have a specific, I'll pull in what we call our subject matter experts.
Yeah, we've talked to FastTrack. We just haven't really gotten going yet, but so.
Well, let's get going.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey.
I used to work with Jeff at Adient. I still work there. He left me. So the question I have, Jeff, you showed me 3 months ago on device upgrade or device analytics versus upgrade analytics, which is what we have today. The issue that we have is not all of us are benefiting from things like FastTrack, and unfortunately, device upgrade was released at such a late period in time that it is really not helpful to our Windows 7 to 10 strategy. Which would have been very helpful with all the data analytics that come out today. The question I have for you is there a plan from the FastTrack team to maybe work faster with your partners to actually release tools we can use in a timely manner?
Yeah. So you want FastTrack to move faster? I got it. No, it's fine. It's actually kind of a fun. I totally get.
2 months till 7's
Yeah.
dead, right?
Yeah. No, I totally get your question. You mentioned a little bit before we started a little bit the challenge there. Our goal is to make what we have in FastTrack available to the broadest reach of customers. And for our bigger entities or partners, we're also trying to engage with them, saying these tools. Part of our goal is not to build the tools. This is not. Let's be clear. The tools that we shared today, those are all publicly available, and I know if you're in the government space, maybe there's some parts that don't work yet, and those are always on a roadmap to get there. This is not secret FastTrack sauce. That's maybe what I want to try to get to. We would love our partners to be able to use those tools too, and if there is a gap, there's a couple of my colleagues here, but we can talk afterwards specifically what you were looking for and as a partner. So, but we realize, I mean, when we have what we call these unique cloud scenarios that we've set up for like our local government agencies or federal, U.S. federal agencies. We also have some of those in other parts of the world. There's a delta gap to getting the features all rolled or available. And the ideal is next day, but sometimes that next day is not. Next day is a very loose definition, and that's not our ideal scenario. But I just really want to emphasize the tools that we do have here that we've talked about. Those are public available. It's not a FastTrack unique thing.
I just wanted to add, though, I mean, and as far as my perspective, I wouldn't have known that these tools existed without FastTrack saying, hey, here's something really cool you guys should be looking at. Here's something that should help you. So that was definitely a huge benefit to us. Not only in a private preview, but I might have not known that upgraded analytics turned to desktop analytics. Mm-hmm. And without that knowledge, I would have been, kind of stuck with the tool that wasn't as good.
Yeah. And I think that's part of, what we're trying to also do with this, land with this session is that FastTrack is also here to help. You're getting here at the Ignite, you get all these sessions on unique products that Microsoft has. We're trying to help you bring those journeys together for you and fit to your scenario. I think you might have been next. Okay, go ahead.
Great talk, thanks, super informative. My question's about any remaining devices on Windows 7 or with legacy version of Office, and I guess I hear you saying that corporate's a really different environment than maybe your retail. I'm just curious about, it sounds like you have a lot of analytics. What would be the reasons why, if there are anything remaining?
So that's a really good question. We have what are called regional distribution centers. This is just one example. And they run these giant conveyor belts, right? So we've invested, a couple $1 million into this system. And unfortunately, it only works on Windows 7 32-bit. And, we've asked the vendor and said, hey, we need to get this working. How do we do it? And they said, well, you just need to buy new conveyor belts. We said, that's not going to work for us. That's going to take years. We got to rip stuff out and all this other stuff. So there's certainly pockets in there and certain use cases where it just costs too much to do, or we have to budget for it, right? So we have to say, okay, we'll pay for the extended support now, and then hopefully our budget will catch up and we'll be able to get this thing out of here.
So we're in the early stages of having O365 deployed to our environment, and right now, pretty much every machine that has O365 is on the same version. I saw in your pie chart earlier that you went from 91 versions, but you still had 10 or 12. Can you tell me why you had such different versions, even though you had it all rolled out? Yeah,
so originally we had deployed the monthly channel. And when you're in monthly channel, you're getting versions, monthly, obviously, so very, very quickly. And so if a user happens to get an update, even though, we tried our best to block those feature updates, it still happens. So that's how we ended up with so many different versions. And then those subversions represent basically security updates, most of them. So they're all on the same major version, and then they may have little differences because they have one has a security update and one doesn't, or one has the July update and one has the September update, just because of when it was online. Yep. Basically.
Our last question. Go ahead.
So did you leverage any other services outside of FastTrack? So my purview is Office 365 and moving Skype on-prem to Teams. And we just set up our tenant. And I guess it's a multi-part question. But did you have a FastTrack engineer assigned specifically to Lowe's? So your point of communication was one person, or was it a pool of FastTrack people?
It's actually two people. So, and then they bring in other people as needed. So we have basically a FastTrack manager, and she's your point of contact. So if I did have a question, I can just ask her, hey, I'm seeing this weird error and I don't know what it means. And screenshot, send it directly to her on Teams, and she'll either reply directly, or one of the engineers will reply directly. Or if they don't know, they can certainly help you get with the product group and say, what's going on here. It makes you, the relationship changes because normally you'd have to put in a ticket for that sort of feedback, but it's a lot different when you can just hit them on Teams and just say, I don't know what's going on here, help me, and screen share,
Right. And did the FastTrack engineers, did they come to review your project or come to or have some sort of representation within the meeting of the project?
Yeah, so, they gave us a project plan. And then
Project plan? Oh.
yeah, so it was here's your prerequisites and all your deliverables, and then we just basically, all right, well, here's the person doing this task, and then you change the date and all that stuff. But it was a completed project plan.
I do, unfortunately, for time purposes, need to bring this to a close, but we're happy to stay here a little bit more and take questions. But I just do want to quickly cover, there are these additional sessions around deployment and adoption that you can attend. And then there's also, please fill out the survey regarding the session. I hope it was helpful. I thank you all for your time, and I hope it was beneficial. Thank you.